The cemetery. Sign. I think I'm losing my mind. Signs and letters are one of the biggest things I get. I did a video once about a welcome sign. Right now I'm doing a sign with a different style of lettering, but we're gonna do a little instructional video because I keep thinking to myself, I always get people asking, can you just do the whole alphabet in that video you did? And if you haven't seen that video, just search down to the very beginning of my videos and you'll see how to do the welcome sign, which is a great way to do it. But this one, we are pretty much doing chainsaw only, except I think because this is such a little more of a fancy sign, we're going to do chainsaw only and, well, not chainsaw only. We're going to do chainsaw and then we're going to use a Saburrtooth bit to really sharpen the edges, because that's really what's going to make the difference in making your lines look crisp. You want the lines to look crisp. I think that's one of the most important things when you're doing signs, is making things look crisp, unless you are going for a more rustic type of lettering, which we have done in that way. And I am going to do the alphabet video one of these days, and I just was tempted to jump onto my wall and show you how to do it, but it's not worth it. But well, let's quickly do it anyways, because I just did this video where I wished I did something and I didn't do it before. Now, when I do a letter like this, I'm looking at, okay, so it's like, just think of an A, okay? So, and like a W is so easy. It's a line with a chainsaw and a line up. There's your W, right? Think of what your chainsaw can do, the easiest way to do it. So we're doing an A, cut this off, imagine everything in squares, and then there's your saw. And just think about the size of your bar tip. Cut that, shape that out, cut that, shape that out, shape that out. There's A, you know? And then B, I mean, realistically, you could get away with just doing this. Or maybe take that out and then do. Maybe not so far there. No, you need a B to be like that. And there's your B. C, it's all about style points. If you want, you can do it like this. You know, this isn't right because normally it's about this size where it's to the actual letter size. So C, I'm just looking at the quick ways to make it work. So a D, okay, this is your power line here, boom, and then do that. There's a D, and then you can cut this edge off, cut that edge off, and then your next letter's here already. So you just do it out in rectangular shapes, and then go, okay, D, I, you know, I, and then cut that out, cut that out. This is a straight line. I always cut here, here. I always cut the box out first, once I have my measurements. And then a C, because we're gonna do dick, because I'm just feeling like that I'm one right now, boom. There's that, you've got K. Same thing, think about it. Okay, straight line down, boom, little edge up, straight line down, little edge up, and then there. Cut that out, cut that out, cut that out. Think of the easiest ways to do it, okay? Perfect, moving on. We'll do another video on it. Now, we are doing chainsaw lettering. Now, I started doing it and then I realized this is probably something that's gonna help a lot of you and the process into doing it. Because if you can use it for yourselves, when you're creating sculptures and you're making nice signs, it's only going to increase your business. It's only going to help everybody. There's no secrets that we're giving away other than just good tips. And you can find a better way to do it. If you have a better way to do it, please leave it in the comment and be nice about it, and I'll look at it and maybe try it and then do another one. Because after going to Chetwynd last week, it was incredible to see the creativity of the next generation of carvers coming up. I mean, I can't even believe I'm saying that because I've been carving for 10 years, but 10 years of carving has changed. and the next generation of carvers have just blown it apart. It's awesome. They're so fast, they're so creative. Even the assistants had cool pieces that I was like, whoa, this is crazy. And there's more content creators like Mike Jones and Jake Rhodes, who I'm gonna be doing stuff with. You know, Jake does YouTube, Mike does YouTube, but he does like TikTok and killing it on TikTok, killing it on Instagram. It's like Scott Dow, also killing it. So there is going to be some things happening. Same with Chainsaw Jenna. Jenna's on fire right now. Jordy Johnson. We're all gonna work together because that's what it's about. Like, the great thing about carving is we all are just people and we are all just carving. There's no animosity. And the thing about it is, if you look at content creating, if you come in with that, oh, I'm this guy, I got the attitude, blah, 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 you're a donkey. And no, you're a dick. How about that for bringing it back? Okay, let's get into the lettering, all right? So this is probably where I'll speed it up. These letters are all gonna be in depth or set in. Now, with my chainsaw, as you can see, I've got it kind of set up. It's pulling. When you're doing it, the chainsaw's pulling this way, so it's gonna wanna go. I've got it wedged in between here and my leg, and I'm like this. And I'll probably go over here for here when I'm closer. It doesn't matter about how it feels. Obviously, we're writing upside down. Oh, whoops. Obviously, we're writing upside down, but doesn't matter. I wanna be close, and I wanna be over top. You wanna be over top of it because you're going like this. You're gonna go with your bar tip, and you're setting it in. You're kind of like going bop, bop, bop. I do a line. Here we go. We'll just do it. Okay. Keep in mind, of course, you could use a router. It would be probably just as good, but we're chainsaw carvers, and that's what I think. Rustic chainsaw. That's what I'm like. Not rustic, but clean. Get yourself a blower, keep yourself blowing off. Stay within the lines. I've said it before, say it again and again and again and again and again. Stay true to your lines. Don't veer off. Stay over top of your saw. You're using the tip here to here. And don't just plunge in, right? So like when you're here, this tip, think about where the tooth is on its last cut. You see how I kind of went right there? Now I'm gonna have to fix that and then fix it the whole way through, at least to there, to here, and then making that work. So that's kind of what you gotta think when you're doing this type of lettering. I'm gonna click on time lapse. We're gonna watch it. You don't need to, you don't need to watch the whole process of it. So, or we'll watch the whole process, but you don't wanna watch it with chainsaw. So we'll speed it up and then you can watch it, all right? Let's go. So I just wanted to stop, kind of go over some stuff. While I'm doing these letters, as you can see, I'm starting to go like lining, straight lines over top, and I'm watching as I'm pulling what my tooth is doing on the back, because it's going down, right? It's like, it's going this way. So I'm watching it, because in reality, if you mess up on something like this, it's done. You have to be as perfect as possible. You can fix it, requires sanding, but the way that I'm doing it is I'm pulling, and then I'm finding as I'm kneading it, I have more control with the tip. So I'm setting that up to be the successful way to do it. So I'm here, I'm like boom, boom, pull, set the line. And one thing to think about too when you're doing letters, if it's possible, especially in this situation, when you're doing chainsaw, a chainsaw inset sign. I've got this little circle here. It's not gonna go deep enough. I'm gonna use a Saburrtooth bit for that. But here, look at that. It fits 2 inches, like the depth of my bar tip. And I'm just scraping it. And then I can come in with the grinder and in like 5 seconds with a good, you know, a bit like this, or a bit like this. One of these two, too aggressive. This is gonna be too aggressive. But this is sharp, right? It'll fit in perfect. Boom, and you can sharpen it, or you can use this to kind of pull out like the corners and the tough spots. So that's kind of my thoughts here. All my bits are put away right now because it's the summer season, I'm on the road, so everything's in my trailer. So we'll pull those ones out later, but that's like what I'm thinking about right now is we're doing it. And when you get the E, right? You saw the E. I started like kind of like going around. So I'm using that bar like this, just kind of like edge, and then go around. Get the angles, like move around the piece. You gotta move around the piece to get in there and make it so it's crisp. That's all you're trying to do, is keep it within the lines and be crisp. Because the second you stray, you put yourself out there to fail. Because if you just do like a big old run, you're like bop, 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 whoa! There we go, done. I'm always doing my templates. I'm using a projector and a template to get these letterings so they're exactly the way I need it, in the scale, in the same size, in line. I have a video coming out with them. I have a feeling if it's out before this video. If it's not out, it'll be out after it. That'll be a Tool Talk Tuesday on how to do projection and projectors. I get asked about it all the time. Finally, I've caved, because who cares? It's time for everybody to learn. You know, I'm just here to help everybody grow. And as I'm watching all these new carvers come up, carving, they're inspired. It's awesome. And then when I finally am seeing carvers out there who are inspired by the carvings that I'm doing, and the carvings that other people are doing, it's just as exciting for me. You know, like I saw Jake Rhodes, he's just put out, I think his name's Jake Rhodes. I hope I didn't get it wrong. I'll try to link him in my video. Hopefully maybe one day we'll do something. He's doing these like crazy quick carves that I'm like, whoa, I never thought about that. Like, that's awesome. And he's got some videos on YouTube and they're hitting, and it's awesome. Like, it's great. Like, everyone on my page, everybody on Jordy's page, there's no viral followers. You guys all watch this because you're subscribers to my page. It's not bots from wherever in the world. It's literally like people who are wood enthusiasts, and I can't thank you enough for doing that, because my metrics when I show people or companies like this is it and this is wood, it means a lot, because I know that it's real viewers, real people like yourself who want to do videos, or not to want to do videos, who want to learn about wood carving. So that's why I think now I'm gonna be a little more candid in videos. and hopefully through the help of and collaboration with all these other people who are killing it, like Mike Jones and Jordy and Jenna and you know, who else is there? Nick, oh, what's his name? Oh, shoot, I can't remember his name. Well, Vlad's one of them, and then there's my other buddy. My brain's not working. He does YouTube because my brain is full of sawdust. Oh shoot, I'll just put it up in the description here. Sorry, dude. But he does videos too. He's a good dude, and I'll be thinking about it, and then it's gonna drive me crazy the rest of the day because that's what I am, crazy. I do long videos with one take because now it's way easier to edit. Also, I'm not gonna lie, YouTube is a lot of work. So all you young carvers out there who want to do YouTube and think it's that easy, just remember each video takes like hours and hours of videos or editing, and when you've done over 200 videos, editing that for that much for what YouTube pays, it's not worth it. But for all the great carvers and all the great messages that I get from all of you out there, makes it totally worth it, because that is the truth. I mean, in reality, this is about me sharing my passion with you so you can progress, make money, get better, and hopefully one day say, hey Rye, thank you so much for your help. You don't have to ever do that though, but I mean, like, you'll be able to do the same thing for the generations after me, you know? It is what it is. That's life. There will be better, there will be more, that will never end, and there's only gonna be more content creators who are gonna surpass me. But right now, I'm the one who's doing this now, and I'm so glad you're all here. Blah, 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 too much talking. Let's get back to carving and making letters, what we're here to do. But you want it, you got it. This is me, this is reality. Talking a little faster than I do normally, because I've been watching some YouTube videos where the guys are like making these videos and they're like, and this is how it's done. I do this and I do that. I watch like 2 minutes of it and I check out, but man, do those guys got views. Okay, back to it. And to each their own too. It's freaking awesome. I want to work with them also. Show me how to do it. Okay, kick on the music. Let's go. Okay, so of course I'm doing this and learning as I go, but what, like, my techniques, I'm gonna have to change my battery, so after this I'm gonna cut it and then start it again. As you can tell, when I'm doing the letters of the E's, the round number letters, I'm using the tip of my bar. So I'm gonna show you right now. see there at that last second. The last second there, I kind of nipped the end of that end. That's rushing. Because you want to get it done, your back's hurting. But that's pretty solid for like pretty solid for just lettering that out. This is gonna be a long video, but you know what? There's a lot of great stuff in here, I think. And this is gonna help a lot of you. So I've got it all notched out. Now I'm gonna get my 801C die grinder. Probably start here with this bad boy right here. And just start like kind of doing the letters that move, the S's. You know, look for the spots you missed. I missed this spot with chainsaw, I'll go over that. And then it's, you know, like in reality, as you get down into the bottom part, like down into the gullet, let's say, I don't know what that would be called, but down into the gap. So it cut off, but as I was saying, it gets into the gap. When you get into the gap here of the letters, yes, you want it clean. Now, a Saburrtooth flame bit, the opposite of a flame. Sometimes with the problem of being a little bit too nice and giving away bits, you give away bits that you realize then when you need it, you don't have it. So that tapered cone bit like this, the opposing one to this one, the opposite end. So when it's like this but goes this way, those are great for signs, because when you're doing these signs, as long as the edge is crisp, it doesn't really matter how deep it is here. Obviously you want it to be as clean and even as possible, but sawdust. But if you're able to, you know, shape it, I'm gonna have to use this one. This isn't the most perfect bit, but it does have the burrs on this end, so I'll be able to do a lot of shaping. Then I'll probably have to come in with maybe the Dremel version of that, and then the green or the orange of that one to do it. But I'm just looking, hoping I see one in my desk, but I don't. So that's the thing, you know, you just want to clean it up now. And then we're gonna spray paint it, then we're gonna burn it, then we're gonna sand it and make it look beautiful, and then it's done. You know, it's not a ton of work and it'll make a good amount of money, but it's very technical. If one mistake happens with the saw, you're pretty much ruined, especially if it runs. So be careful, hold tight, don't, you know, listen to too much music that's gonna make you jam too hard. But make sure when you're doing it, you know, you're thinking about cleaning it up at the end, because in the end, all it takes is a few minutes with this bad boy going over each letter, boop, 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 make them clean, make them crisp, and you're really just focusing on this part down here, like the outline. The inside part could even be as far as going tapering in this way if you wanted to push it. It can be that way because you're making it dark, that creates shadow, but you want it to be as straight as possible. But if you're on the other end where it's starting to taper in, which it definitely does when you're setting in these letters. So here on these E's, I was talking about the shaping of the letter, right? So this is something Pete Ryan told me, if you remember Carver Kings. He told me one time, instead of just going like, when you're carving, just whap, trying to do one straight sharp cut like this, he's like, do 4 of them. Takes only a couple seconds more, and you can run that bar essentially. Getting that E way cleaner, way easier to clean up. So now let's kick back on the time lapse. I'm gonna just go over these letters. We're gonna burn it, we're gonna sand it, and then we'll be done, and I'll show you what it's like. We're gonna do paint. I'm gonna burn it. We'll tell you why I'm gonna burn it. I'll just tell you now, and then we'll just go over it with time lapse. So Now that the time lapse is kicked on, I'm working the letters. So when I'm doing these letters, I'm just holding my die grinder, as you can see, over top, straight, like a router. Just trying to clean up some areas, tighten up the lines, and make it work. And now that we're close to getting each letter done, we're gonna bust out the spray paint. I'm using a black. You could use a blue, you could use a green, you could use any color, but I'm gonna use black. And then I'm gonna spray it in. And when I spray it in, I'm gonna try to hit all the nooks and crannies everywhere. Get it everywhere. Blow it out first, of course, as you saw, I blew it out. And then sprayed it everywhere. And then I'm gonna turn the fire on and burn it. So you just heard the little voiceover, and now the fun part. You don't want to let it burn too long, as I was thinking about it. I'm like, you know what, those crisp lines are going to now leave. But I think we got enough time. The reason I burn it, so I was even talking to my buddy, Mark Holt, big buddy, when we were in Chetwood. He's like, well, why don't you burn it, then you do the paint, then do that. Or burn it, then sand it, then burn, like, do the final touches. But for me, I find if I stain it, and just paint it, and then burn it, dries the paint fast, super fast, and then I'm just letting it sit for a few minutes. Then I'm gonna get a big polisher, the Makita 7-inch or 6-inch, I can't remember what it is, I think it's a 7-inch looking hoop polisher, and I'm just gonna go over it and make it super clean, and then I'll look at the lines and see if there's anything wrong, tighten them up when they do Dremel, or whatever, and then redo that section again. So it's not gonna be perfect, but you know what? This is super fast in the sense that, you know, this is how I do it. It looks good. There we go, and a lot of the lines are crisp. It's a chainsaw carving, so like that's what the clients already expected. They want that. They don't want that CNC perfection that, you know, you can get from computers. This is handmade, handcrafted by these two things right here. So that's what it's about right now for me, is just letting this sit. I'm gonna go grab the polisher, and then I'm gonna start to buff it out, and then we are back to nitpicking and finishing lettering video. pick like this part here, you know, finger sander and all. Crisp up some lines, but you gotta think people are gonna be looking from afar. And the further you step back, the better I look, because I'm good from afar, but far from good. So as you step back, you get more bold, right? That's what you want. So when you're doing signs, vector style, not even vector style, just insetting letters, it's a great way to do it. Thanks for watching. I'll post the last couple seconds of the video. If I don't, here's the beauty shop. And if I remember, if I get it done, I will, I'll show it stained. And then right now, what I'm doing next is taking that same slab and I'm carving another piece down here and making a very cool landscape piece, which is going to be awesome. Little bears, it's going to be little bears because this is Little Cub's early years center. So that's what we love doing, man. We're making cool stuff for kids and, you know, showing them that it's not all about regular jobs.